to Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, as I look into sports, wellness, and fitness. Well, this week, the spotlight on Central High School basketball. Three of the very best, all three seniors, Ally Athnos, Rachel Peterson, Ally Pangier. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
We'll start by just looking back at the season. It's a moment of reflection. The season's over with. 17-7 record, second in the MVC. So you had a good season. It didn't finish the way you wanted, but reflection, always an important part of kind of ending something, ending a season. Ally Athnos, what's your thoughts on the season?
Well, I'm really proud of how far we got and what we accomplished, but I just know that we could have done better. So there's a little bit of disappointment there, but overall, I'm happy with the outcome.
Oh, I mean, were you? I don't think early on, the early people that thought about, well, okay, what's going to be the MVC standings at the end? I don't think you were chosen to be at the top tier, though. So, I mean, knowing that must make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, it was good motivation to push us through the season, to kind of prove people wrong that we're better than they think.
We did the game Onalaska versus Central at Central. Certainly a defining moment for you, Ally, because you had 12 points and it was certainly your best game of the season.
Yeah. We really wanted that win because we came out with a win against them before, which was a surprise to everyone. So we wanted to show that we could do it again, and I really wanted it. So we just executed properly.
You did, and you won 50-29. It was
Yeah.
huge. 2 wins. Well, Rachel Peterson, I want to start by just sharing a quick thought about you, and I said this on the broadcast. Let's kind of set the stage. Central at Logan, and two hotly contested game, a lot of drama, as there was in games, inter-city games when I played, and even prior to that. And Rachel Peterson's on defense. You set yourself right up a little bit above the block near the division line. Here comes Jenna Davis down the floor. I can remember it like it was yesterday. You put yourself out and you took a charge, and it was a huge contact. I mean, you went to the ground and you went to the floor and it was like, whoa. It was like a freight train coming down, and she's a good athlete. She knocked you down, you took a charge. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember it like it was yesterday, too.
Do you know, one of the ways that you evaluate the courage of a player is how many charges they take. Because many athletes, boys, girls, men, women, they're reluctant to give themselves up. And when you take a charge, it sends a message to your entire team. It should be uplifting. And I hadn't seen that hardly all season, but I not to dwell on it, but I mean, it was spectacular in my view. What was your thoughts as she's coming down the floor?
I was just kind of bracing myself. I knew it was going to be a lot of contact, but it's part of the game, and it's a sacrifice you make for your team. And
it is. And we used to run a drill in high school with there was a mat on the other side of us, so we would take a charge, and not so we didn't get hurt, we'd fall into the mat. We learned to take charges. Anyway, so Rachel Peterson, you had a great season, and honors came your way at the end of the season, and I remember working games, and you played as a freshman. I mean, you've been certainly one of the better players that perhaps have ever played. Have ever worn a Central Red Raider uniform. What's your thought on that and the season?
I just think that I wasn't really satisfied with my seasons before this, so coming out as a senior last time, stepping out on the court in a Central uniform, I had to make the most of it, and yeah, everything I hadn't accomplished the previous years I wanted to get done this year. So.
And you did it. Ally Pangier, friend of the family, know your family extremely well and watched you play, and I'm sure you were satisfied with the season, but maybe not to the fact that you didn't play as much because of some injuries. What's your
Yeah.
thought on the season?
I think just this year coming in, I was just ready to get on the court again just because last year I didn't play as much. And so it wasn't about the performance for me, but trying to, like, for our team to do better. If that meant I couldn't play as much, it was fine. But I was still able to get out on the court and play as I could.
Do you know, Ally, that says a lot about who you are?
Yeah.
It's not all about me, it's all about we.
Yeah.
How did you develop that personality?
I think my parents, my dad, and him just pushing me and telling me, like, after games he would say, good game, but not to me. He would say good, like, win. And so it made me, like, focus that I can't be mad if I played bad if we still won.
Interesting. That is the way your dad played. That's
Yeah.
the way your Uncle Rich played.
Yeah.
And that's who they are. And how do I know that? Because they played for me
Yep.
when they were young. So I know exactly what their personality is all about. Ally Athnos, so let's go back down memory lane. Let's go back further than high school. Let's go back to when you were young and you were introduced to athletics. Talk about some of the meaningful times then.
Well, basketball was a huge thing in my family because all of my siblings played, and the sister I'm closest with is basketball's her favorite thing, so she would just push me. Every time I would want to do something, she'd push it towards basketball, and then that just contributed to getting started and loving the sport, and then continued throughout the years.
And I'm familiar with your siblings and how athletic they were, and I'm familiar with Courtney because you're wearing that shirt when known as St. Mary's in honor of her.
Yeah.
She was an excellent athlete at when
Yep.
known as St. Mary's. How do I know that? Because I worked those games, and I was always fond of the way she played. So she basically, your parents kind of encouraged you, and then you followed in your siblings' footsteps.
Yeah. Every game that Courtney had that we were able to make it to, and at St. Mary's we would go, even if it was late nights on the road, getting back, because I just enjoyed watching her. So that influenced me a lot too.
Of course it did. Rachel, I can remember you, and before I went on the air, you said you remembered me from football at the club, but I remember you as an all-around athlete when you were very young. So you were introduced to the sport, and you fell in love with multiple sports when you were young.
Yeah, for sure. I guess the first sport I really took up was basketball. My mom worked close with Todd Fergutt in the LCBA, so I was always at their drills and skills camps. So I think I started at about age 5, and that's really when basketball really started for me, and then I just carried it on throughout the years after that.
And of course, you played football.
Yep.
And for the club.
Yep.
Then you transitioned to middle school football. Something people don't know about Rachel Peterson. She was a football player among boys, and I'm sure excelled.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. It was kind of uncomfortable at first. I didn't know how people would take it, but I mean, my teammates supported me fully, and I think that's really what contributed to my success in football. Sadly, I didn't decide to carry it out. I ended up playing volleyball 7th grade. Didn't like that as much, but it was a great experience.
And knowing Ally's parents, I'm sure you were introduced to athletics when you were very young.
Yeah. I would go to the boys' camps too, just because TJ went, so I was dragged along to go do it.
And I see your mom and dad at all the games, grandparents and so on,
Yeah.
but you were introduced, your dad, you played youth sports too?
Yep. Yeah, basketball and softball. A little bit of volleyball, but just wasn't a sport for me, I guess.
And all three of you are softball players too? No? Ally is?
Yes.
You are in the spring,
I don't do a spring
and
sport.
you are a softball player. So, so in the spring, you're just working more on maybe getting ready for next year?
Yep. Yep.
And we'll kind of get to that. So, Ally Athnos, when you think of, all of you have good size inside, and so what would you say the biggest skill that you brought this year to the Red Raider program?
I think with my size being like a starter, I was the tallest one out there. So I knew that my position was to get the boards because rebounds are really important. So that's mainly what I thought was important.
Describe a Central Red Raider practice, because I'm always enamored by practices. I'm always interested because I like well-orchestrated practices that really break the game down. Describe for our viewers what a Red Raider practice is all about.
Well, we always try to do an hour or 45 minutes of offense and 45 minutes of defense. So some days we switch it up with like offensive or defensive drills, and then we always went into team stuff at the end, just kind of like working together, running through our plays. And Q, he's a good coach, so he pushes us because he knows what we can do. So I guess the practices are pretty intense. With if we're not doing what we're supposed to do, then he gets on us about it. But it like fueled us to work harder. So it was just always energetic and loud practices, and then we just worked on everything.
Well, good coaches encourage, push, challenge you. Good teachers do the same thing. And so watching him on the sideline, it's obvious he has a passion for the game. So we're going to step aside just for a minute. We come back more here on 7 River Sports. We'll be right back.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 5-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to 7 River Sports. The spotlight this week, Central High School. Boy, did they have a great season. We covered a lot of their games. 3 seniors, 3 of the very best. And Ally Athnos, Rachel Peterson, Ally Pangier. Well, student athlete. Student first, athlete second. That describes all of you. Starting with you, Ally Athnos, because you excel in the classroom. Talk about how you can blend that in, using that as a priority, and still compete in both basketball and softball.
Well, basketball obviously takes up quite a bit of time, but we all like manage our time wisely, and sometimes our coach would like try to get study sessions in, so then like if we're behind on work, we can go and get help. And our team is filled with like really good students, so we can always help each other out too.
Well, time management, that's what you're all about too, Rachel. Top 5% in your class, all academic, you've received honors. I mean, that's impressive to say the least. You've been able to prioritize.
Oh yeah, for sure. Most of it's just getting stuff done in class. They give you time for a reason, so using it wisely, but also taking advantage of the resources you have, like she said, friends that can help, but coming in free periods, after school, before school. I mean.
And Ally, you set aside time for studies too, so because I know your parents very well, of course, and I'm sure they have high expectations of you as a student.
Yeah, they check my grades a lot, and they've never allowed me to get to a point where they knew that I could do better, so they always have been pushing me. And like right now I'm in AP Calc, and it's a hard class, but I go during first hour and I get the help I need. And yeah.
So you're not reluctant to ask for help, which sends a message right there too. Favorite class, favorite teacher?
I mean, I love math, so I'd have to say Miss Steele or my Spanish teacher, Miss McMahon, just because I've had her for the last, like, 5 years.
Math, a difficult subject,
Yeah.
to say the least. So you have a gift in that area.
Yeah, I guess I just like the struggle, so when I struggle, I like to figure it out, and it's just like that click when you get it.
You like to struggle.
Yeah.
In other words, you like to step into the unknown, what a lot
Yeah.
of people don't like to do, and then in a level of being uncomfortable
Yeah.
until you learn, so now you're comfortable.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So that's a great life lesson for you forever, no question about it. And do you have some tough classes, Rachel, that you really struggle with, that you have to put more time in?
Oh yeah, I'm in AP Bio right now, AP Biology, but I've always been pretty good at science, but this is really in detail, so yeah, that's been my hardest class this year, and I mean, even though I'm good at science, I'm still finding myself.
Do you know athletes are put on a pedestal, and they're elevated, and it's kind of because you're recognizable, you're on a platform, people you see in the halls, and it's a gift to be an athlete, no question about it. It's a gift you shouldn't take lightly. So, and you're a gift as a student in terms of academics. So when you're on the court, or you're around the classroom, or you're in the halls, how do you want people to perceive you, Ally?
Well, I perceive myself as fun-spirited and uplifting, so that's kind of how I want others to view me. I just want them to think of me as I don't know, a good person, I guess, and just someone that no matter who they are, they can count on me.
That's awesome. Would you say, if I asked your friends to describe you, would they say that?
I mean, I think so. I'd say yeah.
Good for you. So if I asked your friends or classmates to describe you, what would they say, Rachel?
I think, I'm pretty quiet when it comes to school, but I think everybody knows that no matter who they are, if we're close or not, that they have a friend in me, so anything they need, they can ask. I'm not going to turn you down unless it's something ridiculous. And
So you're quiet by nature.
yeah.
And which kind of transitions into something I noticed on your profile, your favorite saying, which is, still waters run deep.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah. Basically, well, this is how I perceive it. Looking on the outside, you might not see the substance that's on the inside. And I think that really describes me, because a lot of people think of me as quiet, or I've even told I look mean when people look at me because I'm not smiling. But once you get to know me and know the substance to me, then you know that's it.
Exactly. It's a Latin proverb, actually, that says, behind a stoic exterior is a passionate interior. That really does describe you, huh? On the court, too?
That might be a little different. I think I show my emotion a little more on the court, a little more outward with it, but I don't know. People might still think I'm mean out there. It's just my love for the game.
You can always tell the character of an athlete when they get injured. And some athletes self-destruct, some become bitter, others rise to the occasion and learn life lessons from it. Now, you've been injured quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so how have you handled that in terms of trying to take the high road?
I think in the beginning of last year, I was really frustrated just seeing, watching everybody play and me not being able to be out there. And then as the season went on, Q was saying that I need to do my part as a coach kind of thing, so I would help my teammates and help the plays and stuff like that, and help what I see not being out on the court and just like that. And then I guess just this season, when I was able to play and then I got hurt again, I guess I just did that again.
Mm-hmm. So that's difficult for somebody young.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you reflect, then, is there some sadness in the fact that maybe you didn't get to the level you wanted because of some injuries?
Yeah, for sure. I remember sophomore year, it was like I was doing good, and then junior year it kind of just went down, and it's sad to look back because now I don't have the chance to do it again, and the doctors kind of just told me they didn't really have anything for me, so I just had to play through the pain.
What's next for Rachel Peterson? You're ending a very significant chapter in your life. You're stepping into the unknown, and some people are, apprehensive. You've had all three of you had a great high school experience, and now what's next?
Playing collegiate basketball has always kind of been in the view. As of recently, I've kind of started rethinking that, but playing in Chicago at Roosevelt University is still an option right now. Otherwise, I'll just stay home. I have a lot of family here and young nephews, so
you're a little leery to go 300 miles away?
yeah.
So you're pretty much a family
Yeah.
individual. But by the way, blended family, that's who you are. You got lots of siblings, and they've really been your rock, haven't they?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my family's been my biggest support through it all. Siblings at almost every one of my games throughout all my seasons, so not a better support system that I could ask for.
Blended family with you two, and you're all about family. I know you are, and know your mom probably better than the rest of them because she's been at all the games doing stats and all kinds of things. So when you look up in the stands and you see your family there, what are your thoughts?
It just makes me feel good and happy inside because my family is everything to me, so seeing that they're there supporting me no matter what, it gives me like a little burst of energy kind of inside because I just want to do good for them, so then they just encourage me even more.
Good for you. So what's next for Ally Athnos? Let's college, and then in the next 10 years down the line, what would you like to be doing?
Well, I'm going to go to TC, and then I'm really hoping to get into pediatric nursing because I love being with kids, and nursing is something I'm interested in. So I think if I'm into college still, pursuing that would be something I look forward to.
You seem to have the personality to be good in that particular career. And career for Rachel?
Occupational therapist. I've worked with disabled populations over my years, and I'm really excited to work with the individuals who need prosthetics. So I would love to help in rehabilitation, especially with kids.
Good for you. That says a lot about you also, and I know Ally Pangier has some things that she would like to accomplish.
Yeah, I'm not sure what yet, but I'll figure it out.
You don't have to be sure.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're your age, I mean, do you have certain options that you're leaning toward?
I think I just want to do something that involves math.
Oh,
Some type
good
of
for
engineer,
you. To use
maybe.
your gift.
Yeah.
Well, as we close the show, what do you want 10 years, 15, 20 years down the line, and your name comes up and they talk about you as a Central Red Raider student athlete? What do you want them to say?
Just a hard worker and didn't let anything stop her and showed up to most everything.
Good. Rachel?
I'd say that I was encouraging to my teammates, always put the team before myself. Took every opportunity I could to get to the level I'm at.
And Ally?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing, just that I was a hard worker, and it's not just about the game. It's about connecting with people you didn't think you could, and creating a new family within it. 3
leaders at Central. To much is given, much is expected. That's another proverb. And not only leaders on the court, softball, volleyball, but leaders in the classroom, leaders in the community, and it's a privilege to have you on the show this week, Ally Athnos, Rachel Peterson, and Ally Pangier. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thank you.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 5-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. So I hope you enjoyed our interview this week. The spotlight on Central girls basketball. Finished second in the MVC behind the Aquinas Blue Gulls. Next week, my guests, 2 seniors from the Onalaska boys program, Isaac Hellickson and Jacob Volk. You will enjoy meeting these 2 tremendous student athletes. Well, that's it this week here on Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping that you will have an active and a healthy week ahead.